know why I do this wave every time I get on here. Well, hey, it's me, Rosalind. Welcome to my channel. Okay, so I am sitting here trying to get the kids' homeschool area prepared, and I was just thinking to myself, and I was like, let me pull the camera out and go ahead and think out loud, really, or talk about what's on my mind. So basically, a lot of us as parents are having to decide whether we want to keep our children home, whether it be doing homeschool or doing some form of virtual school, or if we want them to go back into on-site school. Now, that's a hard decision to make because I do have one that has an IEP. So that is just making it more difficult for me to, feel like that I will be able to meet all his needs at home. He has childhood APRAXIA of speech, and so he does receive speech therapy. And I've been notified by the school board that they will offer some form of, they will continue to work with him in his IEP if he does do virtual school. So that is a good thing. But there's other things that he receives at site on school that are very helpful for him. And, my worry is that he won't, receive that. And will he fall behind? Not necessarily academically, because that is, something that I can work with him. But the other things like socially and stuff like that, that's a concern of mine. This video is just really for me to clear my mind, basically. So I've just been thinking about this and thinking about it. Talked over with my husband, and we're pretty set on doing the homeschool or the virtual school. I just am a little bit worried about that. How many people out there are going from traditional public school to now homeschool or virtual school for the first time? This will be my first time. Of course, when he was younger and my kids are younger, we do teach them, the basics and everything. But as far as the traditional learning, the traditional education, they did go to public school. And I know it's a lot of us that this will be our first time experience. So are you as worried as I am? I know that I'll be able to, the material and everything is just all the rest of the stuff that comes along with it. Here we have a little bit more time to finalize our decision on, as far as parents, on what we want our children to do, whether we want them to attend in person or if we want them to do virtual school. I even thought about going to a homeschool curriculum and just doing it pure homeschool, some kind of homeschool curriculum, because I worry that my son is a little bit more, despite his speech difficulties and everything, he's very, very intelligent, and he's beyond the first grade. So I worry that he's gonna be held back as far as reaching his full potential because of the limitations they have with being able to teach him certain things because it's on grade. When he was in school, they had extra work for him to do. We had him, workbooks, second grade workbooks, third grade workbooks that he would work out of once he completed his work there. So I can still do that here, but I was thinking, would it be better for me would it be better if I was just to go to a strictly homeschool curriculum? That way he can work at his pace, and once he's out, he can move on to the next grade. We don't have to wait till the end of the year to move on. If you get what I mean. Like, even though with the curriculum we would have to wait some, but we could move on and we can move at our own pace. We don't have to be restricted to what they're teaching at that particular time. So for now, it's going to be school. We moved from the dining room table, so we'll be here in our little homeschool corner, and yeah. So what are your plans? Do you plan on keeping your kids, whether they have an IEP or not, home? And if your kids have an IEP, what do you plan on doing with them? Like, I just hope that there's enough resources where the kids won't be neglected, and they won't fall behind on stuff like that. Will it be the same if he were to do it at home? Will he receive the same care and services from home? That is just a concern of mine. Yeah. Also, I've known for a long time that my son is unique, and I remember researching before I got the formal diagnosis with the speech apraxia, and I thought that might be what it was just from when I was doing the research, but I wasn't sure because I couldn't find any references. Like, everything I saw was old and dated, and yeah, even still when I try to look things up, it's hard. But I have hope that not hope, I know that we will make it through all this. And like I said, I've been researching and trying to work on things that I can work with him on here, and we plan on supplementing whatever resources that the school provides with some private speech therapy. He was doing private speech therapy before, but we discontinued it when he went to school and he started receiving it at school. But I think we're gonna pick it up in addition to, because it really did help out. And the more, he works at it, the better it'll be. Sometimes I just feel like I'm the only person. Like, I couldn't find any references that I could relate to when I was trying to find out about this whole thing. Because everything, all the information I found was old and outdated. But now I'm starting to see more people talk about it. But yeah, I don't think it's a common thing. From when I found out, it's pretty rare. But kids do have it, and to see, I was trying to figure out the outcomes, or the long term, what to expect. I really haven't been able to see that. Anyway, so I just wanted to come on here and talk it out, think out loud, and tell y'all what's on my mind, really. I think I'll do this just because I do it anyway, so if I record it, oh well. But yeah, any of you all are having reservations or second thoughts about what you decided, okay, look, let me just say this. No matter what you decide to do, whether you decide to keep your kids home or whether you decide to send your children to school, that's an individual choice. Don't let anybody make it seem like you are a bad parent if you do either or. We only can do what we can do. We have to make the best choices for our families, and that's it. So that being said, what are you doing? I would like for my son to go to school, but we have some other things going on in this household. It's just not feasible for him to go to school. Wouldn't be missing out. But like I said, I like the idea of them being around other kids their age. They can see, how other kids act and interact with each other. And, kids learn a lot from being around each other. They learn like different social cues and different appropriate type behavior and boundaries and things like that. I can teach them all day at home, but it's just something about being around other kids and seeing how other kids interact and how other kids approach those different subjects and areas that really helps. And that's something that my son does have difficulty with, understanding boundaries and as far as being around other kids and minding people's personal space. And so just the fact that he was around other kids, that did help him a lot. And him being in school does help a lot with those other social difficulties that he does have, because he does have some social some difficulties when it comes to social I'm trying to think of the correct term for it, but when it comes to how he interacts socially with other people and in other situations. So that is definitely a benefit. And whether I decide to keep him out for a minimum for the first court semester and send them back in January, it just really depends on how things go. But I don't know, it's just so hard. I asked my son what does he want to do, because I want him to have a say and my daughter a say in what they want to do. Of course they would like to go to school, but my son, he's the type where even when he's at school, he does have, I call them his friends, he does have friends, but he it's not in a traditional sense, if that makes any sense. They're there, he knows them, they talk to each other, and but they're friends to him. He doesn't, his friendships are different than other, like my daughter's friendships with her friends. So but that is still a good thing for him. And my daughter, she needs to be around other kids other than her brother. Like, they love each other, but plus, am I gonna make it? That is the, number one question. This will be my first time I taught my kids, from a young age. I started with them ABCs and all that stuff. That's different than having to sit with them and go over a certain curriculum. 2 of them, people do it with 4, 5. People do it 4 and 5 and 6 and 10 kids. So, I should be able to do it too. I'm not going to complain. I won't. I should be thankful that I am able to stay home with my kids. That's what they say. And I am. You ever felt like it was just you? Sometimes I feel like it's just me. Like, I feel like I can't, you know, I don't know, but I know it's other people going through the same thing. I wonder if people will actually watch this. Even if they don't, it just feels good getting it out. I want to do a deep conditioning. Okay. So, what I'll probably do is I'll probably put this in a playlist. That way, because I'll post it, but I'll put it in a playlist. That way, it's all kept together. So, if I would need to go back and maybe I want to come back and reminisce on these things, I doubt it. Come back to. Anyway, if you like this video and you would like to see more videos like this, please hit the thumbs up. That way I know. If you enjoyed the video and you watched it through to the end, subscribe. That way you can be notified when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching.